Hey there tech fans, Rick here again from the OREI team with an overview of the UHD41-EX230-KVM 4 input, 1 output HDMI media extender and KVM switch. This product makes it incredibly easy for you to share the output from 4 computers or any other HDMI media device with a single remote location up to 230 feet away over a single CAT6 or CAT7 LAN cable. The product also provides complete remote control from that secondary location, so you can decide which of the media streams is being shared with that location at any given time by tapping the button on the front of the unit to make your selection, or by using the infrared remote control, or through a direct RS-232 connection to the receiver. It also provides KVM functionality, which means if you have computers connected at the primary site, you can easily connect the mouse and keyboard at the remote location that are shared with all 4 inputs. The product fully supports 4K ultra-high definition media content and is both HDMI 2.0 as well as HDCP 1.4 and 2.2 compliant, which means it'll work perfectly fine with your computers and all of your modern media gear. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with a quick unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and then I'll take a closer look at the transmitter and the receiver modules, and I'll explain the connection so you understand how to use it. I'll list the features and functions this product provides, and then I'll come back and do a short demonstration to show you just how simple this product will be to use with your own equipment. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you open up the box, you'll find a transmitter module and a receiver module. You'll find 2 power supplies. These are standard DC 5-volt power supplies. You can plug this end into any wall outlet. The other end has a barrel connection on it which plugs into the back of the module and provides all the power you'll need for operation. You'll find 4 USB cables that can be used to connect the transmitter to your computers. You'll also find a remote control you can use to make your selections. There's a set of brackets you can use to mount these modules up off the ground and out of the way. And finally, an instruction manual is also included that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and other really important details about this product that you'll need to understand in order to use it correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at both of the modules, I'll list the features and functions, and then I'll come back and do the demonstration. Inside the kit, you'll find a transmitter module and a receiver module. Both of these feature full metal enclosures, which make them incredibly durable and really helps to minimize outside interference from causing any issues with the sensitive electronics inside. Let's start with the transmitter module. On either side, you'll find mounting holes that can be used with the included bracketing kit to mount this module up off the ground and out of the way. On the front of the module, starting on the left, you'll find a reset button. You can use that to reset the module by holding it in for a few seconds once power has been applied. To the right of that is a LAN port labeled CAT6 out. That's where one end of the CAT6 or CAT7 cable between the transmitter and the receiver plugs in. To the right of that is a KVM indicator. Once you connect the keyboard and mouse up to the receiver, this light comes on letting you know the KVM function is active. To the right of that is a power indicator. The minute you add power to the module, it immediately starts an internal power on self-test where it's checking the electronics. Once it passes that test, it'll light this LED letting you know the module is ready to use. On the rear of the module, starting on the left, you'll find a DC power port. That's where the cable plugs in from the power supply, so you'll simply plug that power supply into a wall outlet. The other end of the cable has a barrel connector, which plugs in right there. To the right of that are 4 PC inputs labeled PC input 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you'll find 2 connections for each of these, an HDMI connection, which connects directly to your computer, and a USB connection that you'll use the included cable to make a connection from here to your computer, and that enables the KVM functionality. And you can have up to 4 PCs connected at any given time. You can also connect up any standard HDMI output device like a media player or a DVD player. The remote receiver module also features mounting holes on either side that can be used with the included bracketing kits to mount this module up off the ground and out of the way. On the front of the receiver module, starting on the left, you'll find a reset button. That can be used to reset this module if needed by simply holding down that button once power has been applied. To the right of that is an infrared receiver window that's used with the remote control, and that's where the signals from that remote control are picked up, so you need to make sure you have a clear line of sight to that window if you're using that remote control. To the right of that are 4 more LEDs labeled 1 through 4 PC input, and those show you which of the inputs is currently active from the transmitter. And you can make a selection as to which input is active by tapping this button. And you'll actually move from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and then back to 1. To the right of that is a KVM indicator. Once you connect the keyboard and mouse up to the receiver, Those connections are checked. Once they've been verified, the KVM light will come on, indicating you have a solid connection to your peripherals. That same KVM light will light up on the transmitter as well. To the right of that is a power indicator. Again, once you apply power to this module, it starts an internal power on self-test. Once it passes that test, it'll light that LED, letting you know the module is ready to use. On the rear of the module, starting on the left, you'll find a DC power port. That's used with the second power supply. Again, just plug that into a wall outlet. The other end of the cable has a barrel connection on it, which plugs in right there. To the right of that is a bank of RS-232 connections, and this is used for controlling the module if needed. You can make selections on which input is active and a few other adjustments through there. And there's actually a connector included in the kit to make connecting to this port very easy. To the right of that is another LAN port labeled CAT6 in. That's where the other end of the CAT cable from the transmitter to the receiver plugs in. Again, it's got to be a CAT6 or a CAT7 LAN cable. To the right of that is a full-sized HDMI port labeled HDMI out. That connects to the monitor at the remote location where you'd like to enjoy the content. And finally, to the right of that, you'll find two full-sized USB-A ports where you can plug in a keyboard and mouse, and those enable the KVM functionality, which means once you plug in a keyboard and mouse at the remote site, those peripherals are shared with whatever input you select on the transmitter. The OREI UHD 41-EX230-KVM is compatible with a wide variety of HDMI media sources, including digital projectors, game consoles, laptops, streaming devices, and computer systems. The product's features include full support of 4K ultra-high definition media content. It's a switch and extender combined into a single product. It provides both HDMI 2.0 as well as HDCP 1.4 and 2.2 compliance. It offers 230 feet of extension between the primary and the secondary locations and has complete KVM functionality included as well. Now I'll show you just how easy it'll be to use this product with your own equipment. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up my laptop and a small media player that's currently looping a video, and this is the media content that I'd like to share with my remote location. Over here I've set up a monitor, and this represents my secondary location. It's wherever I'd like to enjoy the content from the primary location. And these can be up to 230 feet apart. In front of me, I have the transmitter module here and the receiver module here. Now the first set of connections I'll make are from my media devices to the transmitter module, and I've already connected up high-speed HDMI cables to the devices, and I'll plug those into HDMI input port 2 and input port number 1. And now we're all ready to connect up the remote receiver to the monitor. I've got another high-speed cable connected to the monitor, and that plugs into the HDMI output port on the receiver. And now we can connect up our networking between them. And remember, it has to be a CAT6 or CAT7 LAN cable. I have a short CAT6 cable right here, and I'll plug that into the LAN port on the receiver, and then finally the LAN port on the transmitter. And now we're all set for power. I've plugged in both power supplies. The other end of the cables from those power supplies have barrel connections on them. You can plug those directly into the DC input port on the back of both modules. And the minute you add power to these modules, they immediately start that power on self-test where they're checking the internal electronics. The transmitter is also checking the resolution of my media devices, and the receiver is checking the resolution of the monitor to make whatever adjustments are needed to give you the best possible picture on that remote location. Also, they have to establish a handshake and data communications across the LAN. So when you first power them up, it takes a second or two for that to happen. And there you go, that's my laptop. Now, if I want to see what the media player has, I tap this to go to input number 2. Again, they'll handshake, they'll make the adjustment for the resolution, and you'll see that pop up in a second. And this can handle up to 4 devices at the same time, which is pretty impressive. And the key thing is, you're making a decision on which of those media streams is being sent to the remote location from the remote location, which is unique. And you can do that using the button on the front, the infrared remote, or through an RS-232 connection to the back. All right, so let me switch back to number 1, because one other feature that I really like about this product is that it provides KVM functionality, which allows me to connect up a keyboard and mouse at the remote location and control computers at the primary location. And to do that, there are a couple of connections you'll need to make. For starters, you'll need to connect your computer up to the transmitter because you'll have to have some type of USB control. So there's a cable included with the kit that's USB-A. To this end is a custom USB, and I'll plug that into input number 1. And now my computer is online, the KVM functionality is active. Over here you can plug a keyboard and mouse into the 2 USB-A ports on the back. I like to use wireless products, so I've got a wireless dongle, and I'll plug that into the top USB-A port. Now what I'm doing effectively here is connecting a keyboard and mouse at the remote location. The control signals from that are being sent across the LAN connection to the transmitter so I can control my computer at the primary site. And you can see that the mouse is moving and the keyboard is active. So essentially what you've got is remote control of up to 4 computers at the primary site with the keyboard and mouse working just fine. And again, you can mix and match various media devices over here to send content to that secondary location. So just think about that. Could be a media player, game console, computer, and then you'll have that beautiful image at that secondary location over a single CAT6 or CAT7 cable up to 230 feet away. And it really is just that simple to get it working. I hope you found this overview of the OREI UHD41-EX230-KVM helpful. This kit provides a very simple way for you to share the output from 4 individual computers or really any HDMI media device with a single remote location up to 230 feet away over a single CAT6 or CAT7 LAN cable. The remote receiver provides complete remote control over which of those media streams is being sent to that remote location by tapping the button on the front, using the infrared remote control, or by directly connecting this to a computer over the RS-232 connection. It also provides KVM functionality, which means if you have computers connected at the primary side, you can connect the keyboard and mouse at the remote location and share those across all 4 inputs. The product fully supports 4K ultra high definition media content and is both HDMI 2.0 as well as HDCP 1.4 and 2.2 compliant, so you know it's going to work perfectly fine with all of your modern media gear. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks again for watching.